Yo guys, what's up? Today I'm gonna showcase my first Duel Links deck. It's a Seraph Pendulum deck. It's kind of hard to use it. It uses Seraph Engine, so 3 rods and 2 chars. And in order to get those cards in our hand, we use the Performapal Recasting, which basically shuffle as many Performapal cards, monsters cards you have in your hand to the deck, and then you draw the same amount plus 1, right? Which is pretty neat. Because we're using this card, we're using Performapal cards, so we're using the 2 Goganto, which can negate direct attack. Basically, you take no battle damage from direct attack from your opponent, which is very good because we can use this effect to manipulate our life points and use destiny and get a better destiny draw. The other Performapal we're using is Parrotrio, which is a level 2 scale, just like Goganto, but if it's with another Performapal card in the Pendulum zone, you can make it scale 7, right? So it's good because then it's, even though it's a scale 2 and scale 7 at the same time, and we're not running many Pendulum cards, so having a card that's 2 scales, it's pretty good. The other Performapal we're using are not Pendulum cards, but they do pretty well in this deck. So you have the Boo, which when it's special summon, you can add a non-Pendulum Performapal monster, right? So you can add another copy of him, or you can add a Performapal Magician. And this card, you can special summon him by tributing a Performapal monster that's not Pendulum monster. So you search for it with the Boo, and then use his effect and you tribute Boo to special summon him. Well, and once per turn, you can discard a card and pop a face-up card on that field. Those are the Performapal cards, right? So we are using 8 Performapal cards, monster cards. The other 2 Pendulum monsters we're using are the Archfiend Eccentrick and the Aether. Well, the Aether is mostly here because of his summoning spell, the summoning effect, which you can banish a card when he's special or normal summoned. You can also use him as scale, but that's kind of complicated, right? Because you can only summon level 3 if you're using him. So most of the time, you want to use them in scale. The other card, which is probably one of the most important cards to have, is the Eccentric. That's a must. You must have 3 cards of these, 3 Eccentrics to run this deck, because it's only backward removal, and you can also pop cards with it, monsters. Okay, so we're using the Seraph, but what do you want to special summon? You want to special summon Ouroboros, right? Which has 3 effects. You can only use each effect once, and only 1 per turn. So the first effect is you can discard opponent. You can target a card your opponent control and return to the hand. The second one is you can discard an opponent card from their hand. And the third one, you can banish a card from the opponent graveyard. All of these effects are extremely good. Apart from him, we're using Spider and Roach, which can be substituted. You can play whatever rank 4 you want, and our rank 3 monsters are Alucard and Wind-up. So you can pop a set card, and this card you can avoid destruction, and then you can pop a card as well. So you're not gonna use them most of the time, because most of the time you're gonna have the Eccentric and the Parrotrio as your pendulum in your pendulum zone, so you're not using them to actual XYZ. But in some cases, you can actually, if you need them, you can actually make an XYZ and use those cards. So the other 2 cards we're using that are also 3 level 4 monsters, required 3 level 4 monsters, are kind of, you can change them. You don't need to play with those cards, you can play with others. But I'm using them because the Vylon, it's pretty good against Melodious decks. And the Knight is pretty good against Blue Eyes decks. That's why we're using this. And yeah, I'm gonna showcase some duels now. It's a pretty good deck. I really have fun playing it. I rank from Bronze to Legend, like in 1 day. I have a pretty high win rate of that, and I hope you guys like it.